Hi everybody, it's Elena of the Witch's Box for another Tuesday Oracle reading and Witchcraft Q&A. Hello, happy Tuesday. Your girl is a little slow today. It's going to be a slower paced day with us today, but we're going to do it. Hello, what am I seeing here on my screen? Curls and Pearls is here. Elsbeth, hello. Renee, hello. Oh, that's me. I'm not ready. I felt a little off. Like I felt like, I'm not fully prepared. And then I thought, no, I really am. But I did forget to turn off my email notifications. So let's do that now. Okay. Hi. My goodness. Announcements. Let me start with announcements and then we're going to go into what we do here all the time. As I speak, the October boxes are getting mailed. A big batch went out yesterday. Another big batch is going out today. And then another batch is going out tomorrow. It should be done by tomorrow. There will be extra boxes for the October box. There won't be that many. But the minute that they go on sale, a newsletter is going to go out. It'll be posted on social media. All the things. So I know that there are a few of you who are like freaking out. Don't worry. There will be extras. Any other announcements? As you know, the registration is open for the Invoke Yourself Holy Witch virtual retreat. It is a really moving, powerful, transformational practice that I'll be teaching over the course of 3 days. So it's a 3-day intensive virtual retreat that's happening in November. The registration for that is open. That is limited seating because we're all going to be ritualing together during the course of that 3-day immersion. So I like to keep the numbers kind of manageable because we'll all be participating in one way or another. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice that is going to be fairly core to the things that we're going to be really diving deep into in the next year. So if you're interested in the ritual work that we're going to be doing in the future, you definitely want to get in on this. If you go to thewitchesbox.com, in the menu bar, you will see Invoke Yourself. You click on that and that gives you all of the information and the dates and all the things. So that's that. I think that's it. Let me see. Well, I already answered Renee's question before I even read it. Ordained Reverend High Priestess, hello. Catelyn, hello. Jackie, Layla, Michelle, The Sacred Cottage. Hi, your first Oracle Live. Welcome. It's good to have you. Oh, and also I have a new deck that I'm going to share with you all today. Kim, hello. Jen, Jacqueline, Adrian, oh, so you're catching your first live too. I love it when we have first timers here. Jenny, Sacred Heart, Claudia, Ada, hello. Hello. I know it has been a minute. It's good to see you too. I'm happy to have you all here. Any other announcements before I do the thing? So for those of you who are just catching us for the first time, you may have already caught this on a replay, but I'll do an Oracle reading for the week. And then we just hang out for a little while and do witchcraft Q&A. I am sporting a new deck, an Oracle deck. I think I mentioned this last week that I had gotten one and I didn't have it around me because it had been in the workshop, but I brought it into my office and I shuffled and I touched them and I looked through all of them and they're so beautiful. I don't even know how I heard about this deck. And I will tell you that as I was shuffling, a card popped out, and you know, usually when the card pops out, it's the card that you need to have. I saw the card and for whatever reason, I'm like, I don't know, and I put it back in the deck and I kept shuffling again, and when I picked the card, it was the same card. So it's like, you know that this card wants to talk to us. So I've got that coming up. Let me show you what it is. This is a new deck. I don't know how it came across my my eyes. But I got it. It's Wild Woman Oracle, Awaken Your True, Free, and Soulful Self. It is by Cheyenne. I don't know how to pronounce this last name, so if you're out there, forgive me for mispronouncing it. If I do, Cheyenne Zarate or Zarate. I like to Spanishify things when I don't know how to pronounce them just to kind of make them sound cooler. So I don't know exactly how to pronounce that last name, but this is the deck. It is gorgeous. Let's see. There we go. So beautiful. So I thought I'd pull it out for our reading today. And this is the card that popped out, and then I picked it after I shuffled again. there we go. The Morrigan, and the theme is sovereignty. Look at this. Look at the artwork. The artwork is so beautiful. I mean, I feel like all I want to do is just, I mean, hi, we talked about this, collect Oracle cards and basically just look at their art every day. This is the back, and then I'm going to talk about the pull. They're all, this is the back for all of them, and they've got a black siding. Really beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, the Morrigan. I know that I have quite a few Morrigan devotees out here in our community, and sovereignty came up. This is as much for me as it is for all of you. There's like a message here, and it's really important, and I just feel like I want to show it to you again. We talk a lot about our own personal sovereignty, our self-possession, and our ability to really stand in our lives embodied and with authority. And it's always easier to do that when life is going well. When you're in a flow, you're feeling yourself, things are going the way you want them to go. Every time you do something, it's all intuitively connected. You don't even have to think about it. In those moments, we feel so deeply sovereign. I own myself. I own my life. I manifest as I choose, and my intention carries out. It is such a great high when we're in those spaces. And in that time, to say, I am sovereign, absolutely feels right, feels true, makes sense. It lands right. All those things click in together, and you know what that feels like. It is much harder to be in our sovereignty when shit is hitting the fan, when life isn't going the way you need it to go, when you've just been hit by something that you weren't expecting, some tragedy has hit, some kind of misstep has come up, your intention and your path is being thwarted by an obstacle that you're not really sure about what it's about. It's really difficult to tap into that sovereignty that is always ours. I mean, this is the beauty of the Morrigan, and this is the beauty of sovereignty. It's not like being a royal, right? We talk about the royals a lot, especially the ones in the UK, where someone might fall from grace and they might be booted from the whole thing, and then you're not royal anymore, right? We have someone doing that. When you have spiritual sovereignty, it is yours regardless of others' opinions of you, and it is yours and true regardless of how your life is going. Your life may be hitting the shit fan right now, and yet still that sovereignty, that soul sovereignty still stands. And so the question here with this oracle reading is, how do you hold that truth when things are not going the way that you need them to go, or the way that you want them to go? How do you hold that truth when you're grieving? How do you hold that truth, and how do you show up in your life when things are just really, really hard? When we can really very easily default to, I'm a victim, it's all happening to me, it's everyone's out to get me, right? We fall into those patterns and very quickly disassociate ourselves from our sovereignty. How do we show up in our sovereignty when things are not going the way we want them to go, when things are really, really hard? And that, I think, is the question of this card, but it's also the wisdom of this card, that you still are in your sovereignty, that life is not always peaches and cream in the hard, hot flow. When we're in that flow, man, it is such a great state. But when we're not, that sovereignty is still true. It's still you. You still hold that. And so then how do we show up? Understanding and knowing and claiming that, when it might be easier to fall into a super victim mentality where it's like the whole world's out to get me, nothing ever goes right for me. What would you be like if instead of that, you were still in your sovereignty? And I think that that's the question and the message of this card for this week. She wanted to be here, man, because let me tell you, told you, she popped out, and then I shuffled it again because I didn't want to hear this message either. There's the truth. I didn't want to hear the message either, and I put her back, and she's like, oh, hell no, girl. I'm here today, so there it is. Let it go into focus, and it's also just so beautiful. I also read something. Oh, God, please let me remember what it was that I read today. It was so beautiful. It was about crows. Oh, God. Please come back. It reminded me more of Lilith. You know that I'm on a massive Lilith dive right now. And that crows were the souls of women who finally found their liberation and didn't want to come back. Something along those lines. It was such a beautiful line that for me, it touched on how I feel about what Lilith's work is for us, but also because it was crows and it's Morrigan, and Morrigan and crows are the thing. Anyway, that's just kind of been in my field in the last day or so. But there you go. Last show. And then I see a bunch of things happening in the chat box. But before I look at that, I'm going to just give you a little perusal of some of these other cards because holy cow. So this one, so it's the deck is, there are deities, I think mainly goddesses, as well as themes. So this is one of them. This is a card called November's Sanctuary, and the theme is Sanctuary. There we go. I love the drawings, the illustrations. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that she created the illustrations. This one is more of an archetype. It's called the Sacred Rebel, and the theme is humility. I just want to play with cards. This one is Bastet and Sekhmet, ferocious femininity. Very feminine rooted. Oh, and this is Scotty, authenticity, or Skady. I never know how to pronounce that. I always say Scotty. And then this last one I'll show you because I can show you all of these and then we'll be here all day. This one is Anastasia, and it's self-discovery. I have a friend named Anastasia. She's amazing. There you go. Oh, let me show you this one last one. This one is Yemaya, mother of all divine care. Aren't these beautiful? Anyway, so that's the deck. Let me clean this up really quick, and then I will look at what is going on in this chat box. Let's see. Ooh, let me change this. Also, I've got my, oh, there's lipstick on it. My little, it's not morning anymore, but my morning sunshine mug. I'm drinking some yummy, warm vegetable broth. It's that kind of weather, and that's kind of also how I'm feeling. It's a very self-soothing drink for me today. I also have water. You know, I have to have more than one drink around me. All right, let me see where I'm at. I just want to know. Okay, well, I've missed a lot. Okay, let me see. Sacred Heart Magic. Would you consider holding a beginner's witchcraft virtual retreat, going over things like history of witchcraft, an overview? Yes, actually, that is already in the works, but it won't be a virtual retreat. It's going to be an evergreen course that you can take. Because even though for a long time I'm like, you know, we're not beginner, we're, you know, deeper than that, it is still something that's so deeply needed. And I really have, and most people that I've talked to who've asked about this have had a really hard time finding a consolidated place with just the information that they're looking for to kind of get them launched and started. So that is definitely coming. I don't know quite when, because as you know, we have a lot on our books right now, but I would really love to push to get that out sooner rather than later, just as a foundational prep for the bigger things that we're going to be doing into 2023. And then Sacred Heart Magic says continued. Oh, this is continued. How to set up your altar, how to, yeah, all of those things. Absolutely. Because those are really foundational things that are important. Curls and Pearls just want to know what tarot. Okay, I showed you a card I'm going to get. Oh, it's my favorite part of the box. Well, I don't know what card you're going to get. But it's still the same deck, and we'll probably still be using that same deck through the end of the year, and then I might switch it up. Zarate. Thank you, Lissem. Thank you for that. Hello. Crone Wisdom Highlights is Emerance. At first I was like, oh, who's Crone Wisdom? I know who that is. Hi. Isn't it? I know it's gorgeous. That's perfect for my question I wanted to ask today. Great. And it's such a beautiful card. For Emerance, things are still bumpy in the energy I'm feeling from out there, but I'm finally feeling relief from the intensity of the retrograde. Yeah, that retrograde was an ass kicker. This last full moon that we're still a little bit in the energy of it. It's kind of like a whisper of that energy now because we're 2 days out from the full moon. This full moon was intense for me. I don't know that it was intense for everyone. It just depends on how Aries aspects your personal chart, but it's been I'm getting a little emotional. It's been a pretty intense one, I have to say. A lot of hard lessons that I'm still sussing out, but I know that other people have had a really rocky full moon as well. But the retrogrades are over. I think all of them. No, not all of them. The big ones are over, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what's happening here. Curls and Pearl says, which question for today is, how do you take your power back? I saw a thing on Tom Brady and Giselle took her power back. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't follow those things. I follow a lot of stuff that's going on with celebrities and people. I mean, well, those who I'm interested in. That is interesting to me, what's happening between the two of them, because in the aftermath, everyone is only focusing on, oh, she's asking for a divorce and he doesn't want it. But if you were paying attention, several weeks ago, something came up in the field, in the media, where she made a comment in an interview or something where she's like, she alluded to the fact that there had been an agreement that he would retire and stay retired. And because he didn't stay retired, she's like, there was a deal and now it's my time. And he went back. And I find that interesting. And I feel like you're probably right. There is a power take back that's happening there, which is interesting. I mean, look, I don't know anything about these people, but from the outside, it's interesting. Emran says, oh, this is a dovetail on another teaching from yesterday. Interesting what the universe is saying. I love hearing this message. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, she really, it's interesting what's happening with me right now. What is not interesting is that I just lost my place in the chat box. Crap and a half. Hold on. Before I go into what's interesting. Okay, here we go. It's interesting what's happening for me right now. Because I have a pretty intimate relationship with a specific deity, I don't often get other urgent messages from others, but you know that Lilith has been coming through, and I've been talking a lot about the fact that my intention and my vision and my desire had been to do something or do an offering to work with Lilith together towards the end of 2023, but she's very heavily she's not quiet, she's not slowing it down. She's like, hell no, it has to happen now. I don't know what that looks like, as my life doesn't really have room for now. I'm trusting that she'll make room for now. But the Morrigan today also was very much needed to show up in this conversation. So I find this interesting that there's just a lot of urgency that's coming through in the messages or in the downloads. We also experienced this. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't part of my outline and intention for the live retreat that we did last month for the ancestral initiation. But Kali was like, in every direction, Kali was showing up very urgently, not just for me, but for all of us in various different ways. It was really interesting. And so I'm just now processing out loud that the urgency I find very interesting, and from who. All of these are very fierce deities, very fierce goddesses. So I find that fascinating, and I'm here for it because that's how I roll. But it's interesting. Jen says, I love crows. They're amazing and so intelligent. Crows and freedom. Yes, crows and freedom. I know. I thought that was beautiful. And I know that I didn't quote it correctly. And I don't even know who. It was something that came up, in the stream that I picked up, and I was like, ooh, and then I lost it and I couldn't go back to kind of like tag it to remember who said what. So if I'm quoting you in some way and I'm quoting you badly, please forgive me. But it was something along those lines, and it was a really beautiful blurb. Carry the Aries. I look at how my actions contribute to the things that happen to me. What could I do differently? Yes, that's definitely a very empowered and very responsible way of approaching things, which is important, very important. Adrian says, I recently befriended some crows near my apartment. Beautiful. I was driving. We have a lot up here. A lot. And I was driving home back up the hill. We call it the hill, but it's a mountain, but back up the mountain. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe. I don't remember exactly when it was. And it was like a country, it was like the flats, like the valley before I went up the mountain. So it's beautiful, it's wooded, but it's flat, and there's like a lot of wooden fences that kind of delineate people's yards. And I passed by like a dirt road that had like that, I don't know, it's called something, but that double beamed like fencing. And on each post was a crow, but they were so big that I literally slowed the car down and did a double take, because like they looked almost like as if they had been a statue, because they were just so huge. They weren't vultures, they were crows. And it was like, holy cow. And I just like, hey, mwah, blew a little kiss and kept going. But it was amazing to me just how huge they were. And they were both just very stately on those posts, just hanging out. And I thought, oh my goodness. Okay, let me get back to all of you. I'd rather have crows than pigeons. And Emerence also loves new decks. Let's see. Hey Kay, hello Pebbles. Yes, Wild Woman Oracle is the name of the deck. Julissa or Julissa, hello and welcome. Chava, welcome. Oft. Espérate, I skipped again. Show. Kim has cards all over the house in all rooms. Sacred Heart Magic says, I'm so excited for that evergreen course. Thank you. Also, I'd love a retreat all about herbs and their magical properties. I learned so much from you and this community every day. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. And I don't have anything on the books for herbs anytime in the near future. That's not off the table, but for sure not in the next year. There are I think one of you, and I don't remember who of you, is doing a really intensive herbology class. If you are here and you know who you are, do you mind sharing the name of that? Because I remember someone else mentioned starting a course, and I think in California, but it was virtual, like remote. You can do it remote if I'm not mistaken. Leslie loves the cards. I have them everywhere, especially as bookmarks. Yes. Oh, that's a good idea. Lissem says, I did just fine with the retrograde, but this moon kicked my ass. I'm okay now. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm still recovering. I'm actually really still in it. Let me just be honest, but it's not as intense as it. I don't know. I don't even know. Adrian, I'm working on calling back my energy from various draining sources. So the sovereignty card is a great one for me. Yes, the calling back is so important. This is a really great time of the year too to do that work. Angela says, I was the moodiest I've ever been during my cycle the past 5 to 6 days, but it was also emotionally the worst. It's been heavy. Chava says, I just found you today through your review of Existential Kink. So glad I found you. I'm glad you found me too. And that is a great book. I love that people are getting turned on to that book. Hello, Purple Pixie. Hello, Angela from Sacramento. Sacred Cottage says, I'm really glad you do these lives. My Sims social status is really low right now, and these help a lot. My Sims social status. I mean, I don't think you mean this, but do you mean like on Sims, the video game? Let me know what you mean. Because I'm a little loopy. Emerin says there's another retrograde at the end of this month. Geez, trying to just to find the flow in through each of these transitions and planetary. I mean, right? It feels like we almost need a little vacation from all of it. It's a little much. A little much. Ravens, they're huge. Maybe they were ravens. I have a hard time telling one from the other. Because I think we have both up here. Emirates, I'm doing better. Things finally felt good to get through all my boxes, unboxings on my channel. Oh, wonderful. Well, can't wait to see what you do it on your channel. And my other teachings was talking about how there's that good thing happens, but feeling like the other shoe to drop and expecting other things to happen, and that intention is the week is that intention of the week. Oh, I gotta read that again. The other teaching that you had was about the waiting for the other shoe to drop feeling. I totally get that. Secret Cottage. Yes, I meant the video game. Oh, okay. Okay. The Sims is true to life for a lot of people. I moved to a new area a few months ago and I don't have anyone to talk to. I totally get it. Okay, so let me go back to what you said about. I'm really glad you do these lives. My Sim social status is really low right now. Okay. I true confessions of gaming people. I wish I was a gamer, but I'm not. I'm kind of a wannabe. But I've never gotten on Sims. I was on Second Life. And I mean, it's a whole true community and you can develop a whole life literally on these games. And I totally feel what you're saying. Leslie says, I'm an Aries moon and I don't know why this full moon was very sentimental for me. Almost felt like PMS. That's the only way I can describe it. No, I get that. Aries is a pretty powerful sign. It's a fire sign, but there was a bunch of other things going on that were aspecting this full moon. It was a big rock and roller. And I think that depending on your personal signs and where it hits your chart, it really was bringing up, it could have been bringing up for you, but it was bringing up a lot of issues around where are you not integrated? Where is there still compartmentalization that might be causing health issues or that might be causing isolation or the what is the right word, the destructive protection around wounds. And what I mean by destructive protection, I mean like sometimes we really need to like air it out and really face it in order for it to heal, but instead it's confronting those parts of us that are like, I don't want to deal with it. I'm clenched around it. I don't even want to look at it. It just, for a lot of people, it brought up that confrontation of this is happening and this is what it's causing in your life. Not easy stuff. I am a big proponent of, I dance well with Aries. I'm married to an Aries. I'm a Libra, so there's a dance there that I've always felt a lot of ease around, but this was a big ground shaker. A lot of emphasis too on what are the obstacles around creating union for yourself, union in yourself, union with others, union with your life path. Emotional, that fire emotionalness is, yeah, that's real. Which reminds me, new things are coming to the Moon Ritual Coven. I'm just saying, hopefully I will be able to make the full-on announcement. Where are we at right now? We're on the 11th. By the end of this month. It's big, new, more for the Moon Ritual Coven. It was Melanie. So I forget. Please forgive me that I forget who said what because it's just a lot. But Melanie is the one who's going to the herbology. So it's East West School of Planetary Herbology. I know that I wrote that down. I'm going to write it down again. Oh, it was Sacred Cottage. Sacred Cottage, that might be something that you want to look into if you are interested, because we won't be doing anything on herbology anytime soon. I'm going to write this down. Sorry for the silence. Herbology. And let me take a little drink while I read. Because I'm... Sacred Cottage. I had flu-like symptoms during this full moon. It was draining and taxing on my energy like I've never felt before. I took NyQuil just to help with the symptoms. In Ayurveda, this might be also true in Chinese medicine. I'm not sure because I'm much more well-versed, and I'm not really very well-versed in Ayurveda, but I'm more versed in Ayurveda than I am in Chinese medicine. Full moons are a time of cleansing, like your body, your liver specifically, will dump out toxins. It's like it's time for cleanses. And what can happen is flu-like symptoms can be very common because your body's releasing into your system in order to flush your body out on its own, and that can create like stiffness, soreness, congestion, just kind of an overall general background malaise. It's really helpful if this is what's happening for you. It can be really helpful for any of us really during a full moon to really eat, eat for your body and for your health issues, but eat in a way that is non-inflammatory. If the weather is compatible with this, eat more vegetables and salads and things that are fresh and raw, or fresh, just leafy things that help support your body in its cleansing process. Less meat, less dairy. Some people, this is not good for everyone, so be responsible for what your needs are. But some people choose to do a cleanse on the full moon, just so they just fast. They do things like just the broth, or just water, or just like a couple of, not a lot of different vegetables, but just a juice for the day, or juicing for the day, to help support your body, because the pull, the tidal pull of the moon doesn't just affect the ocean and the waters. It affects the waters of our body. We are like, what, 90 something percent water in our bodies. So we are absolutely being affected. It's not just our emotions, it's also our bodies. And so that can be a common symptom during that time, especially when it's such a big one. Claudia says, my in-depth tarot reading basically just called me out on a few things, and it was hard to deal with and take a hard look at myself and how I'm handling things right now. So basically kicked my butt. Self-facing is not for the faint of heart. It is, I think, an integral part of being a witch, a conscious witch, an awake witch, a deeply connected witch, but it is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's an ass kicker for sure. Margaret, hello, says, I know so many people who came down with illness at the beginning of this month, including myself. And also, hi. What? Girls and Pearls says, pray for me. My life is ruled by Aries, mean men. My father, brother, and son. They drive me nuts. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. I gotta say. There's a person. I mean, look, I find it hot because, I mean, obviously I married him, and but Aries can be a really challenging sign to dance with, especially when it's obstructed, or the person really isn't awake themselves and they haven't done their own personal work. Then it can be really, really challenging. Luckily, my guy is amazing and he's done his work. Wait, what's happening right now? Oh, okay. Got it. Hold on. I just made a connection. That Lissem has the same last name. Is that true? Oh my god, there you go. Lissem says, this sovereignty theme is perfect. Aries sun, Cap moon, and Cap rising. Oh my goodness. This moon brought me some important information. Lots to digest on my nights off. Beautiful. Curls and Pearls, it's all about the lymph massage. Yes, and dry brushing during the full moon. Yes, that is actually really great supportive practice as well. For sure. You can, oh my goodness. You can also do I see it and I'm feeling it. Epsom salt bath. Holy cow, you guys. An Epsom salt bath during that time is really great as well. Hold on, I just lost my place. I read that. Purple Pixie says, I don't think I have it here. Purple Pixie says, my sister-in-law just got the moon deck and is loving it so far. Have you used that one? Yes, I have used that one. I like it. I have it. I don't know where it's at. But I like it. I like it because it's really nice to have. And, you know, I think I've shown you Laura Ellison from your Sacred Life Mates, those really beautiful tarot or oracle card holders with a little candle at the base. And so they're great for putting that up when you want to follow the cycle of the moon, if we're talking about the same deck. Rachel, that's interesting because my kidneys feel tender over the weekend, so I was taking turmeric supplements. I wasn't connecting it to the moon. Silly me. Well, no, I mean, you were connected to what was going on, so there's that. Broth and black garlic. Black garlic is so yummy. I love garlic in all its forms. Okay, we're gonna. This boy is super like. I mean, I'm assuming it's a boy. Who knows? Persistent. And we're just gonna boot you out, Bubby. All right. No, yes, Margaret, I'm moderating today, but because I was so behind on the chat, I hadn't seen it yet. But they're booted. I noticed the new moon hits me a little harder than a full moon at times. Yeah. It can, for sure. I mean, it's important, and it's also super informative if you just track that. There are going to be times throughout the year where maybe you're going to feel the new moon more than you feel the full moon, and then you kind of flip. So it just depends. And also, of course, it's so many layers to it. It depends too on the sign, how it's aspecting your chart. There's a lot of layers to all of that. But here's the thing, and this is what I know to be true, and you are all in some way or another kind of proving that, which is even if you don't know what the aspects are, what sign the moon is in, what's happening, your body knows. You intuitively know something's going on. I'm feeling this way. You may not know the whys or the recipe exactly of how that created, how it, all of those signs and all those aspects created that sensation in your body or that process for you, but you're experiencing the thing. So even if you don't know why or who or where the moon is like winking at what planet and what's happening, even if you don't know any of that, you are having a direct experience. And that is where the juice is. That's what you really are going to be working with. The other information at some point later, you'll get that. But know that what's happening with you is the guide. It's the, oh, I'm not feeling well. So what do you do? You drink more water, you do more resting, like you tend to what it's bringing up in you. And sometimes it's super emotional, sometimes it's circumstantial. And we be present. We arrive and be present with what's going on and dance with it as it is. And that's where the connection is, and that's where the juice is. Later on, you find out why, like what the trigger was. Yeah. Pixie, I don't know then. I'm thinking of, and I'm just bad today with names and all the things, but what is her name? It's the deck. It's like the cards are kind of dark or black, and then they have the beautiful like moon circle in the center, and it has all of the moon phases. Like each card is a different moon phase, or sometimes each card is a different moon in a different sign. That's the one I'm thinking of, and her name is like, I know her name and I can't think of it at all. Preachy Goblin, I booted them from the group. Thank you. Abby, hello. Melanie says, being an Aries is a challenge. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. This is an observation. This is not an astrological truth. So take it as that. This has been my experience and my observation. Women, specifically who are fire signs, there is something about that fiery energy that really kind of zaps at your nervous system in a different way than I have seen with men. I don't know if it's biology, if it's just a different energy of carrying yourself. I don't know what it is. So oftentimes what helps is it's just supportive practices that help keep you in the earth, keep you grounded, give you a sense of like, I can come back in and not feel that and it may not necessarily translate for you in that, but the fire of those signs can be really intense to our nervous system and have us behaving in ways that can be counterproductive to our means. And so the counter to that can be really finding support in the earth element for yourself, and sometimes water, but mostly I think that what I've encountered, it's something that has to do with the earth. So carrying stones or crystals, putting your feet on, like your naked feet on the earth, and doing that regularly as a practice. Movement, meditation is important, yoga or dancing, but things that help burn that, because fire is an intense energy and it can run all the time and it can be intense. So if you give it a way to burn out a little bit by doing movement, both slow intentional movement as well as like the cardio, kind of like just exercise, can be super helpful. Even if the stuff that you're encountering is emotional, the physical is part of that as well. And so when you approach it from a more physical supportive practice, that can be really helpful emotionally. Michelle says, I heard when the moon is waning, it is a good time to do protection work. I periodically get visits from the sleep paralysis spirits. Do you have any advice on how to protect against these spirits? Protection work can be done at any point in the moon cycle because protection is kind of a broad umbrella. When the moon is new and it's growing all the way to full, you can do protection magic that kind of establishes, right? You want to establish something, establishes boundaries, um, uh, sigils that might be wards in your space, different talismans tend to be more supportive when you do them from the new moon to the full moon, but it doesn't have to be that way. But if you want to work with the energy of the moon as an energetic support, that's when you would do it. From the end of the full moon all the way down to the dark moon, when it's waning, that's when you do things to, you cut the cords, you do cleanses. That's when I like to do a refresh. Well, that's not true because I refresh my salt bowls weekly, but you set up space where you cleanse out whatever in the space and in you that has been lingering, that has attached itself, that doesn't serve. That's part of the protection work too, because we need to clear the slate for ourselves, because when things are lingering and things are sticking around, they drain us, and that's what we want to protect from. One of the things we want to protect from. The paralysis spirits at night while you're dreaming, I would set spaces up around your home. So, not your home, I'm sorry, your bedroom. Yes, your home, but your bedroom specifically. You want to set a space in your bedroom where you've got protected space. You can cast a circle before you go to sleep. In fact, you can do that every single night so that you are very specifically delineating what is allowed access to you while you sleep and what is not. You can sleep with a talisman. Black tourmaline is really great for this. Onyx is really great for this. A salt bowl is really great for this by your bedside. If you work with a particular deity, you can cast your circle with the deity and the energy that the deity brings, so that the deity's energy can be kind of a sentry to keep you protected. If you have guides or ancestors that you work very intimately with, they can hold space for you while you dream. You can ask them about that and work out with them how and what they can do for you. What else? Don't do social media in bed. Don't bring that energy and that noise in, because that creates leakage in your container, your energetic container. I think that's all that's coming through for me. I hope that's helpful. Okay, Pandora and Luna. Love all those names. Hello, hello. You can lurk all you want. It's cool. I'm glad you're here. The Sim says, funny, Elena married an Aries. My mother is Libra. That Libra Aries dance is a beautiful one, I have to say. Yes. Okay, wait, hold on. I skipped and then I saw answers to questions that I asked, and I don't want to like ignore all this stuff. Okay, wait. Current wisdom highlights. Yes, I'm doing better. It was okay. I'm not gonna read you guys talking to each other. Purple Pixie says it has mantras, but it's moon based as far as I could tell. I only saw a couple of cards, but it's not moon based. And Preachy, yes, it is Yasmin Boland. That's right. Leslie Cruz says, witchcraft and spiritual stuff has helped so much. It forces me to stare back at myself and be uncomfortable. Yes. And Crystal, yes, it's Yasmin Boland's deck. So I don't know, Purple Pixie, if that's the one. Moonology. Martha says, I love being an Aries. It gives me strength when I personally feel not strong otherwise. You're the first one out the gate. I think that Aries are incredible initiators, and also really do well in the self-possession realm. Like there's an ability to really own your authority in a really beautiful conscious way that is solid and strong, despite the fact that it's a fire sign. um that, I mean, obviously I love very much. Curls and pearls. Seems like everyone is getting sick. I had to take pancake to vet. Thankfully, it was just a cold. Yes, kittens can get colds. She was such a good girl, and the vet said it wasn't a rush to pick her up. Oh, cute. There, later on, if I can remember, I have a little, like, I don't know, story reel or whatever that I was going to share on my personal Instagram of a cat. I just couldn't. It was so cute. Um, we're gonna wait to hear from Purple Pixie if she hasn't said anything yet, if to confirm if it's Yasmin Boland's Moonology deck. I don't know what that means. I have Ando. Aries Venus. Ooh la la. I also just found out that I just went through my solar return. Oh, being 29 years old during the full moon. So your solar return would be your birthday, and it happened on a full moon. I love that. Happy birthday. Yikes, typos. Okay, wait, hold on. This is going really fast. Oh, you fool. Remove, bucko. And also, I mean, do something with your life, dude. Um, okay, I've lost my place. So forgive me if I've skipped you. Okay. I have the moon deck. This is K. I don't use it very often, but it's great when I do. Preachy says, we had a clear sky that night of the full moon and it was amazing and just locked me in a stare. Beautiful. I could only stand there in awe. It was beautiful. It was bright too. I posted a picture of it from last night. So it wasn't full last night, but it still looked full in the sky. It was bright. And the night of the full moon, it was hard for me to sleep because our room was so lit. We always leave our curtains open. And it was just so bright in that bedroom. It was like, holy cow, this moon is just like on. Beautiful to look at. I have and love both Moonology decks. Ay, por Dios y la Virgen. Hold on. Mm. Lasem says, my natal chart is odd. All of my placements are earth and fire, only 2 air placements and 0 water. I've had a pretty emotionally intense life. Know that even though that's how it plays out, you still have all of the elements in your chart for sure, and they're all represented. But it'd be interesting. We have our amazing, oh, something fell on my face. Our amazing astrologer, Kiara Stellar, who does readings, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's got some openings. You might want to check her out. She does really, really great readings, and a couple of you have done readings with her already. She's going to be contributing more to our moon ritual coven, which I'm really excited about. I don't know where we're going. Preachy books are the worst. I don't know what that's a reference to. Therapy is also basically being uncomfortable and dealing with it. Yeah. Self-facing is, again, I mean, it's a warrior path. It's a warrior spiritual path. Self-facing is also about deep psychological work, right? It's both spiritual and psychological. But until we know what's going on with us, we can't really live a full life. And that's not to say that you're never going to live a full life. It's that the more we are able to self-face and get honest with ourselves and excavate those parts of ourselves that are in the shadows, the freer we are, the more integrated we are, the more in alignment we can be when we say, I want that, and I'm going to work at this thing with spells, with goals, with intention. Then you don't have a part of yourself that's actively working against you, right? Because until we face our stuff, oftentimes we have internal conflicts that we can't even identify. I can say that I want to succeed, but if I'm just like in total self-sabotage mode, I've got 2 warring parts of myself. And so it's the self-facing that's so critical, both spiritually and psychologically, in order for us to truly mature, but also to liberate and heal. And it's a lifelong path for sure. Leslie says, I don't know how I have been with my Aries husband for 14 years as a Taurus sun sometimes sucks. But hey, we have an interesting mix here because my daughter is a Scorpio and my patience. That's cute. I was having a conversation with my husband the other night where I was like, I've said this in different ways. Like, he and I individually are not easy people to be in. I'm not an easy person to be in a relationship with. And I don't know that he is an easy person to be in a relationship either. But together it works. Together it feels very, very easy. And he corrected me, or he gave me a reframe that obviously I'm still trying to integrate because I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically something to the effect of, when you're with the right person, of course it's not hard. Of course I'm not an impossible person to be in a relationship with him. I may be an impossible person to be in a relationship with from someone else's perspective, but I'm not in a relationship with someone else. You know what I mean? I would say that an Aries is not for the faint of heart, not for a sensitive person. And a Libra can be, I know that I can be a lot and he can handle it, which is great. But all signs I think are like that. And there's an alchemy that happens between people who are of different signs that can be challenging in one way, but really grounding and affirming in others. And that's the dance, right? Okay, so it's not, that's okay, Purple Pixie. So it's not the Jasmine Bolin deck. So when you find out the name, share with us. It wasn't my birthday, but I thought the energy affected my solar return all year. I'm new to astrology. So a solar return is your birthday. Where the planets, oh yeah, why? Hold on. What time is it? Where the planets move, where the planets are obviously when you're born affect you, but then as planets move every single day, they aspect your chart and affect you. It can be, I don't know enough to say how your solar return would be affected all year long. I think it's just that the transiting chart is what's affecting you all year long. There are other planets that do returns that are intense and can last for a couple of years in terms of their influence and effect. For instance, a Saturn return is a big deal. And you at 29 are either just coming out of it or just in it. Well, it's 27 and a half-ish years. So you're coming out of a Saturn return. A good book to read on this is Danielle Blackwood's, I think it's called Lantern in the Dark. She talks about the different returns, and I believe the solar return is part of it, but there's a Jupiter return, there's a Saturn return. There are a couple of different returns at different schedules and how they affect you, which is a really, really, really good book. She did a beautiful job with that book if you're interested. Yes, Chava, I have the Crow deck. I love the Crow deck. Abby, okay, talking to Leslie. Curls and Pearl says, and that's the funny thing. I'm Gemini, almost everything, and have no fire at all. So my dad, brother, and son make up for it. Beautiful. That must be a big household. I lost my place again. Hold on. I will find my way back. Oof. Okay, give me a minute because I just lost my place. Kim says, I'm a Libra and my husband is an Aries. He is great for getting me moving when I just can't take the step. Yeah. I appreciate my husband's energy. He appreciates me always seeing another way of a situation beautiful. It's a common love combo, I think. Ada says, I had a dream with my ancestors, a bunch of women. They all look very familiar. They kept on telling me to get the cat's claw. Not sure what to do with it. What's your input? Get the cat claw. That's my input. No, I mean, look, you got a message, follow it through, and then ask them why and ask them what to do with it. They'll tell you. That's beautiful. I don't even need to be part of that conversation. You've got like a connection and a line in, and they're getting clear about that. So I love that. Yeah. And then if you feel comfortable, get the cat's claw, and then report back if you get like a hit as to what it's about. Now, cat claw is a botanical, but they might also mean an actual cat claw. So you might, I don't know, maybe you know already which is the one that they want you to get, but I'd be interested to hear what that's about. Purple Pixie says, I haven't seen an Aquarius, or I missed you. Am I the odd duck in the group? The hubs is a Taurus, but we don't usually match with our signs. I haven't seen anyone say that they're an Aquarius here either, but you never know. Yes, Chava, it's MJ. I can't pronounce that name. They've got 2 beautiful decks on crows. Kay, Pandora, and Luna. Self-facing is the kind of work where you really it's work where you are facing yourself. You're looking at who you are, why you are how you are, owning up to different characteristics and potentially flaws, excavating and doing self-inquiry around what you hold in your shadow, what things are you really in denial about yourself. Because when we start to do that, when we start to be introspective in that way and really admitting and being responsible for and claiming those parts of ourselves that we don't like to admit, healing begins to happen, liberation begins to happen. We begin to really heal those parts of us that we maybe hold a lot of shame around. And once we liberate that part of ourselves, we become more, we grow, we're able to expand in a really beautiful way. And so I call it self-facing, but there are different words for it. But it's looking inward and really owning what you see when you look inward, and being brave enough, even though it can be really scary and very painful, to actually look and see what's there. You, hold on. The crow deck that went out in the Witch's Box last year, whenever it was, I don't think was that one. It was made by it's Italian, Los Scarabeo, I think. It wasn't that other deck by MJ. I feel like I'm talking really loud. Am I talking really loud? You can lower your your volume. Married to a Leo, still recovering. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna start winding down, even though I know that I'm behind. Emerence is an Aquarius. Oy. Hold on. I don't want to miss things, but I keep like, oh crap, I really skipped a lot. Okay. The name of the deck is the Moon deck. It has no info on the box other than that, and it's Oracle cards. Interesting. We'll have to do a little searchy search to see which ones they are. Raven Blakely, hello, says, I just saw the title and it's my birthday, so I thought I'd take a look. I'm thinking that you're talking about us. I don't know, but hello, welcome. Yeah, Jackie, you're right. Saturn return will affect you for a few years. It'll affect you on on the approach. It'll affect you while you're in it, and then it'll affect you on the way out. Chava, the Witch's Box is a subscription that we have here at the Witch's Box, where every month I send out a box where there's a theme. For instance, the October box is Throwing the Bones, where you're getting a little pouch of bones and trinkets to start your own bone divination set, with a book, with herbs, with different things. The next one, I haven't really totally revealed what it is, but it's going to be very book heavy. But basically, sometimes I'll send you things for a ritual. I'll send you things for like a tool for your altar that you can use over time. And they come with a video, so that the video is kind of like a deep dive into the contents of the box. So you have a class, you get a box. And then here on YouTube, I'll do a live stream at the end of each month where I go even deeper into that box for that month, or just answer whatever lingering questions people have about the theme of the box. So it's a subscription service, and you can go check it out at thewitchesbox.com, like that. Okay. Okay, I don't have any recommendations off the top of my head for children. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have. And if someone in the audience here knows of any really good books for kids curious about deities, can you please post them, because I don't have any recommendations that I know of for that. Leslie says, I have to say that my Saturn return changed my life. My Saturn return was marked with becoming a mother. Beautiful. And literally I became someone else. Yes. Gorgeous. My deck is called the Crow Tarot. And Leslie says, and yes, Lantern in the Dark, that book has been such a huge help to understand what happened before and how to prepare for the future returns. She did a beautiful job with that book. My mom is a saint. She's a Virgo and has put up with all of us during the holidays. Poor thing. Melanie says, I'm an Aries empath married to a Gemini engineer on the spectrum. Needless to say, it's a very turbulent but really great relationship. Lots of work and growth and fierce commitment. Beautiful. I love fierce commitment. We have a Cancer with the Capricorn rising. Sacred Cottage says, my husband is a Sagittarius and Aries rising, and I'm a Capricorn and Sagittarius rising. Our charts are almost perfectly in sync. I'm 29 and my husband is 51. It works amazingly. Beautiful. Oift. And it jumped again. Okay, here we go. Layla's an Aquarius. Low air signs in the house. Purple Pixie. Okay, you're talking to Emerence. No, that's not true. Curls and Pearl says, yeah, no one wants a Scorpio moon, so I will be single forever. You will not. If you want to, you can be single forever. If you don't want to, you will find someone for sure. Oh my gosh, Jilmar, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm going to start to close this out. So if you have a burning question, post it, but I don't know that I'm going to get to it. I'm trying to I'm at Jilmar, which means that I'm still behind. My hubs is a Virgo, but he's not a typical Virgo, and he's an actual twin. Life is not calm. Oh my goodness. Is the Witch's Box a subscription thing? Yes, I think I already answered that. Jen, report for being a pain in my butt. There you go. And does anyone know how to upload photos here? Here, you mean in the chat box? I don't think that you can. Jen says, I really want to do the Invoke Retreat and I'm a beginner. Will I be okay? I have crystals, follow moon ritual oils. Just want to, yes, Jen. Yes, absolutely. Because when let me stop and think. Yes. I will cover in the very, very beginning kind of the mechanics of what we're going to be doing, so that even if you don't know how to do any of it, I'm going to cover it so you'll know how to do it. And the first full day is pretty much just teaching. And then the next 2 days, the Saturday and Sunday, will be meditation ritual. Like we're going to be doing actual ritual work together, but I'm guiding you through the whole thing. I think it's a good thing to start with because it's such a beautiful, empowering ritual practice that I think can serve all witches if they kind of start with this, because as you approach everything that you do in your witchcraft, you're going to have this foundational understanding of who you truly are and how to really show up in your power when you engage it. So in that sense, I think it's great for someone who's at the beginning, because if you start this way, then your empowerment is just going to be that much more, the momentum of your empowerment is going to be that much bigger. So yes, the answer to you is it would work for you for sure. Jilmar, I'm an Aries married to a Cancer. Now that feels like that would be a challenge. Jilmar, is that a challenge? I mean, you've been married, so obviously it works. Okay, does anyone know how to upload? Okay, I already answered that. Yes, it's too late to get the witch's box. Well, that's not true. It is not too late to get the witch's box as a single purchase because those are not on sale yet. Those won't be on sale until potentially Friday, maybe Monday. I don't know yet how many we have, but it's too late to be subscribed and get it as part of the subscription batch, which means that you run the risk of them running out as a single box when I put them on sale because we have a limited amount of those. However, that said, October 15th, which is this Saturday, is the last day to subscribe to the Witch's Box in order to make sure that you get the November box. So if you are not subscribed and you want to be in on that, you need to subscribe before the 15th of October, which is this Saturday. I hope all of that made sense. So the single October box will be $89. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I'm at the end. I haven't read it all, but no more comments. I guess I have to get out of here. Okay. Cancer married to an Aquarius with a Sag son, Aquarius daughter, and a Sag daughter. That's a wild household. What books? I'm not going to tell you what books are going to be in the box, but they're going to be like recently published. And they're exciting. I'm going to say. The intention behind this box is to kind of give you all like some juicy reading for the late fall into winter. That's the intention for this box. It's kind of a fun box. Okay, I think okay, I think yes, we're gonna close this down. So it's 2:05, which is not bad. 5 minutes late, it's all good. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's Tuesday. I will I was not able to be, and I just need to apologize about this in the beginning, but I just wasn't feeling under the weather last Friday and I couldn't do the guided meditation. I will be here this Friday for the guided meditation, barring any like madness. And that's it. Have a wonderful week. You've heard it here already. If you want to subscribe and make sure that you get the November box, go to thewitchesbox.com and subscribe to the Witches Box. By Friday-ish, maybe Monday. Okay, work with me. The single boxes for the October boxes will go on sale. I will send out a newsletter announcement for that, and that'll also be posted on social media so you'll know. If you want one and those go on sale, jump on it fast. We don't have many. We're not going to have many. And a lot of you are like all over this. So get in while you can. And that's it. I think that's it. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. And we will see each other hopefully on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific for our live guided meditation. All right. Mwah. Bye. Okay. I'm hungry.